Hi, it's so
Hi,
good to meet you.
you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Were you
much.
surprised? Probably not.
No, I was. I was, yeah, very surprised.
How did you find out?
I saw it on the Instagram story. I got the notification.
Oh, that's
So,
great.
yeah,
Awesome.
so exciting.
Well, it's a beautiful piece.
Thank you very much.
Um, can we talk today about what prompted you to? I know that it's tied to a nonprofit that you're working with, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what prompted you to create this piece and the process that you went through it, and whatever other things you want to share is great.
Yeah. So my aunt and uncle actually started the nonprofit in Uganda, and I just
Wow.
loved what they were doing. So they have a tree planting initiative that's called Our Trees, Our Future. And
Mm-hmm.
then they also have nurseries where they actually grow the trees and they do all different kinds of plants, and they train locals in business management and all of that kind of stuff along with the tree planting initiative.
Wow.
So they're trying to plant just millions of trees across Uganda. Um, so I just felt really inspired by what they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, came up with the
Is
painting.
the portrait from a photograph that they took, or is it just out of your head?
It's, well, the source of the woman is
Mm-hmm.
one of the ladies that they work with. So I
Mm.
just got her face from one of their photographs and then obviously modified it with my ideas for.
Wow. Well, it is gorgeous.
Thank you.
You really have a great control of drips. I'm envious of that because I'm an artist and drips are, people, oh, drips. Drips are crazy. They can
Yeah,
be really crazy, and it's just so striking.
thank you. It was so
Yeah.
much fun to create.
So, when did you create it?
4 years ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, have you used it in fundraising, right?
Yeah, just for them. They haven't done like a big launch
Mm-hmm.
yet. It's kind of still in the works. I mean, they're doing all the stuff. They're just so busy doing all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't focused a ton on fundraising, but they grow coffee there too. So it's used for the packaging on their coffee products.
How
So,
wonderful.
yeah. And a lot of, other promotional stuff that they do. So
So, did they commission you to do this, or did you just do this out of the generosity in your heart?
I just did it because I felt inspired to.
That's what artists do, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's so
sometimes
great.
you just can't help it.
Yeah. Well, you have a great grasp of resin.
Thank you.
I mean, your resin art is incredible. Is this piece resin, or is it
This is just acrylic.
just acrylic?
Mhm.
Just. No, it's spectacular. Hmm.
Thank you so much.
So, so they live in Uganda.
They do, yep.
How did they get? How did that happen?
So they were actually there 20 years ago, working on a missions base, like as missionaries. And then my uncle had malaria so many times that his life was at risk if he stayed there. And so they moved back to Ontario, Canada, and were there and finished raising their kids and everything. And then they just had the heart to go back and really like make a difference in a practical way. And
Mm.
so the tree planting initiative was born. So
So, is there a shortage of trees there, or is it just? I don't know anything about Uganda. Is the climate detrimental to trees, or is it?
a lot of it is from people harvesting the trees for firewood, and
Uh,
other things, and
uh,
not replenishing And
Mhm.
so it causes, since the climate is hot and dry,
Mhm.
without the trees to bring in the rainfall and like help the
Mhm.
whole water cycle, it just turns into
Uh,
wasteland basically. So you lose
Lord.
your animals, you lose your water, your
Yeah.
shelter, your food.
Mhm.
Like it affects so many different things. So they have specific trees that are really fast growing for firewood, so people
Mhm.
can, you know, get that for a resource, and then a lot of trees that provide food. So I think it's like 10 trees per family. The food that they can create from that can pay for a child's education all the way from kindergarten through university.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is really amazing.
Yeah, just a tree. It's like incredible. You know, I'm from Washington, and you know, it's just trees
Yeah.
everywhere. So it's hard to imagine an environment where that's a problem. But oh, sorry,
Uh,
neighbor's fine.
wow.
Yeah, so it's just incredible how much a difference
Mhm.
it can make. And they're also working with wildlife refuge. There's
Mhm.
been a problem with the poachers coming to kill the animals and putting traps and stuff. So they're planting, I can't remember the exact number, but a huge number of trees all around
Mhm.
the perimeter of
Mhm.
the wildlife refuge to
Mhm.
discourage that and to help create other sources of food for people so that they don't need to come into the wildlife refuge to
Mhm.
get their animals.
It sounds like a very introspective process that's developed into this large ecosystem community.
Yeah,
That's really exciting.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Have you been there?
I haven't, not yet. It's
Mhm.
definitely
On your bucket list?
Yep. My
I
parents were
bet.
actually there when they found out that they were going to have me. And so my name, Amani, is Swahili. It means peace.
Oh,
So
it's beautiful.
thank you.
Beautiful.
So
And
it's
you're
just
beautiful.
always felt like a piece of me, even though I haven't
Yeah,
been there.
of course. So tell me about your art practice. I know this was one piece that you created. Can you give me an idea of like what kind I know you do resin art, water. Have you been doing any other causes or initiatives besides this one?
Yeah, I actually just did a piece to bring awareness for the need for clean water. And I did that with resin and acrylic. So it's the image of a boy like drinking water, drinking
I
dirty
saw
water.
that.
Yeah, so that's resin and acrylic.
So
So
how do you when they're overseas and they're not a US nonprofit, how do they get the money? How do they get
they have
donations?
different organizations that will help them
Process the payments?
process the
Uh-huh.
payment so people
Because
can.
that, you won and in turn they won and I was researching and I couldn't find a way to get the money to them. So that's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
I'll have to ask them specifically because they were working with actually a coffee company that would accept their donations and then
Mhm.
could send them. And I'm not sure if that's still how they're.
Do they have access to the internet? I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they do.
I would love to get on a call with them.
Okay.
Yeah, and you too. We could all do like, and because I'd love for them to tell their story. And, I'm not sure if they can connect with this third party provider that's legitimate. I'm sure it would be. We can put them on Art for Your Cause and they can earn donations through Art for Your Cause. You can put your art in their profile, and when anybody buys something, you can designate in the next week or so, we'll have it available where artists can dictate how much of a percentage of a piece they want to go to a specific charity
Oh, perfect.
from their profits. So,
Yeah, that's what I've been doing with the paintings is just sharing my profit. I do 50% of my profit on the prints goes to them.
Yeah. Who are you using now? Is it Fine Art America?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we're not integrated with people's websites yet. That takes a lot of development, and so we haven't done that yet because we're still working on getting the website where people can use it and functional and have the features and everything that we think that we feel like they want and need to create their own products and all that. So, but we'd love for you to be on Art for Your Cause.
Yeah, it looks like an awesome setup. It would be good to.
Yeah, we'd love for you to be on there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one for sex trafficking as well. So that one is called Not for Sale, and I work with an organization, Operation Underground Railroad. I don't work with them,
I've heard of
I
them.
did it for them, and they've used it to promote their organization.
That's wonderful. I mean, you're just the essence of Art for Your Cause, an Art for Your Cause artist, a cause-based artist that likes to give back. The reason I created Art for Your Cause is a lot of nonprofits want artists to just give them, donate all of the piece, or auction it or whatever, and the artist never got anything in return.
Yeah.
So that's why I created Art for Your Cause, to make sure the artist wouldn't be a starving artist.
I love that.
So, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that part out, because my heart is definitely just to create and give. And so Resin art allows me to, I do that for my main income source, and then all these my passion pieces.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Well, your resin art is exceptional. I can see a piece behind you.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been doing resin?
Probably coming up on 1.5 years now.
1.5 years?
Yeah. It takes a lot of
I think you've mastered it in 1.5 years. I've been doing it for, well, not full time, but I started about 3 years ago. I'm nowhere near the level that you're at. I don't know how you get the water, the foam around the water, and it just looks so real.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really fun to I just got so focused and passionate and obsessed with trying to figure it out that I think it just kind of sped my journey up, because I was just so intrigued by it.
Yeah. Well, and then I saw another piece on your website of a peacock.
Yes.
Can you tell me the story behind that? Because peacocks are revered in India.
Yeah.
They're like the national bird, and so I didn't know if there was a spiritual connotation or.
Yeah, a little bit. That one I did for a conference. It was a 3-day event where people were just learning about more about who they are, their identity, and things that hold them back, and trying to step into the fullness of who they are. And so the peacock felt like such a perfect image of that, of just people when you're at your fullest expression, you just you radiate beauty, and
you have eyes where you can see it in everything and everyone around you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really a gorgeous piece. Yeah, I was all over your website the last couple of days.
Thank you.
So how did you get involved in art? Have you always been an artist, or do you consider yourself that you were born an artist, or?
I discovered art in high school. I didn't like any of the other elective options. And then, so I did some pastel and started drawing portraits with charcoal and pencil, and had fun with that. And so I kind of had this idea oh, I really love this. I wish I could just do this all the time. But it's been a slow increase through the years of putting my time into it. I discovered painting in, I think it was 2004, 2006. And I felt oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for, because I felt with the drawing, it's much more contained.
Right.
The paint, you can just Like it just felt like I could really express myself.
Be loose and fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just have built my skill through the years with practice. And I did a 3-month art intensive school when I lived in Hawaii. And
Hawaii. Oh my gosh. What a great place to live. What island were you on? Were you on the Big Island?
On the Big Island, yeah. And that was transformational for my art as well, not just the school, but living there, because
I'm sure
in Washington and everything is kind of deep, muted colors. And in Hawaii, everything is so vibrant.
Bright and shine, yeah.
Yeah, I know my art really changed.
I'm sure.
That it became so much more vibrant. And I discovered golden paints, which are
they're great
things. So those, also give the ability to just have so much life in them.
Yeah, golden is the best acrylic paint, I think, on the market.
I love it. It's incredible.
I bet you go through a lot of it.
Well, I do, but I also paint in really thin glazes,
washes and stuff.
Yeah, my older style, before I discovered golden, I used a lot more paint. I did a lot more thick application and stuff. But with golden, I tend to just build up the layers more thinly.
Well, that gives it the depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really very well done.
Thank you so much.
So, is there anything else you'd like to share? What are you working on Are you working on any projects currently?
I just really finished that water one last week. And so now I have a few commissions to catch up on. And I'm working on a new acrylic painting, not for a specific cause, just for myself really, but it's kind of another identity piece about really being free in who you are and expressing yourself. So I've been so focused on resin for the last year that I haven't put a whole lot into acrylics. So it feels kind of like coming home to myself in a bit of just, it's just a totally different process. So I think moving forward, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between resin and acrylic more.
Yeah. Or maybe even combining the two more.
Yeah, I definitely want to explore that more. I have some ideas of how, but it'll be definitely experimental to see.
Oh yeah. I think resin is pretty, for me anyway, it's experimental.
Yeah.
Because I can't control, well, you can control it probably more, but it's like, sometimes it just runs away. It's running off the side and I'm like, get back over here. I liked that before. Exactly. It ran off the side of the edges. Come back, and it's gone.
Yeah, it is really tricky, and you have to kind of have a loose expectation. Otherwise it gets really frustrating for sure.
Well, I would love Art for Your Cause. Like I said, we'd love to have you on the website. And we have a nonprofit now.
Okay.
And so we're interested in bringing artists and nonprofits together like you're doing, but really assisting them in creating causes. So that it's causability.org. Okay. And we'll be launching it probably in the next 2 or 3 months. And artists will be able to place their products in the fundraisers for donation incentives.
Awesome.
So yeah, we're working on that now. That's another development project, but we're working on it now. So keep us in mind.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, if you want, I'd love for you to become an artist in Art for Your Cause. So I've said that like 10 times, so I'm not going to say it anymore.
I'll definitely look at
anyway. So is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, I love what you're doing. It's so amazing. And when I found your website, I'm not sure how I came across it, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. This is exactly what I'm passionate about. So
great.
I hope it inspires other artists to create pieces.
Yeah, we've got a
for
lot of
them.
artists that have made products and created profiles. Some of them, when they make them, when you create your profile, you can either save it or publish it. And a lot of them have not. A lot of them have not published their profiles yet.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they're still working on them. It's pretty new. The website's only been really finished in the last 2 or 3 months.
Okay, yeah, so it's very new.
Yeah, it's a very new company. It's a very new, we're just brand new.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm.
So much room for growth.
Yeah,
Exciting.
exactly. Well, thank you so much.